All right, last lesson is on mean, median, and mode. And you've seen mean, median, and mode before, so this should be a review. We are going to look at frequency tables, which may be new information, but overall, what we're doing is not new. You're on page 73 in your notebook. And let's review some definitions first. Can someone tell me what the mean is? The average, okay. So this is where we add everything up. It's the one that people would consider hard because it involves the most work. So you add everything up and divide by the total number of elements. Does someone know what the median is? Bailey? It's the middle number, but there's something important with this that we need. It has to be in numerical order. Okay, if it's not in order, you don't actually know that middle number. What's the mode? Alyssa? Okay, so the number that appears the most often. And does anyone know what the range is?
You take the largest number and subtract it from the smallest.
Good. So largest number minus the smallest number. Is that all review for everybody? Yeah? Okay. So we're going to look at a frequency table. Does anyone know what the definition of frequency is? Something what? Sounds like frequent. Frequent. What does that mean? It's how many times something occurs. Okay? So we're just taking our data set. So instead of me giving you a list, I'm giving you a table that tells you how things occur. So the frequency, again, is the number of times something occurs. In this case, we're looking at basically the number of pens that we get in a box. Okay, so let me give you some numbers and then I can explain. So 29. So this first column talks about the number of pens that we're going to get in a box. So we're going to get 29 pens in a box. And that happens 2 times. So we have 2 boxes with 29 pens. What do you think this line means? 5 boxes with 30 pens. 2 boxes with 31 pens. 1 box with 32 pens. How many boxes do we have total? 10. Okay. This is the number of elements that you have in your data set. Your frequency is the number of elements in your data set. In this case, we are talking about 10 elements. Okay. There are 10 boxes. Now, it's a whole lot easier to list out our data set so that we can actually see the numbers. So if we're going to list it out, this says there are 2 boxes of 29 pens. So 2 boxes of 29. There are 5 30s. There are 2 31s, and there is 1 32. Some of you can look at the table and do all this work without having to write it out. This is going to be helpful for most of you. Could I find the mean from these data points? Yep. Add them all up. Someone have a calculator and can add up all those numbers for us? So we're starting with the mean.
302.
302? Okay. So 302, when I add all of those up, divided by the number of elements, which is 10. So the mean is 30.2. The median. Now, we said it has to be in order from least to greatest. Easiest way to find the middle number is to just cross off 1 on every side until we get to the middle. Now, here, I don't really have a middle. If I cross both of those off, there's nothing left. So how would I find what that number is? Add them and divide by 2. Now, because they're both 30, when you add 30 plus 30 and divide by 2, you still get 30. But those numbers won't always be the same. Okay? So if you have an even number of data points, for your median, you'll have to add the 2 numbers and divide by 2. If you have an odd number of data points, then you'll actually have a middle number. What is the mode? 30. It's the one that appears most often. What do you notice about the mean, median, and mode, like the final answers of them? Okay, in this case, they're all around 30. Is there anything else that you notice? All 3 of these lie within the data set. So if you get a number not in this data set for these 3, you did something wrong. And that's more for the mean. So like if I was adding everything up and divided and got like 45, I didn't add or I didn't divide right. Because everything should fall within those data points. Okay? And then what's my range? How'd you get 3? 32 minus 29 is 3. Not too bad? Okay, so I'm going to give you 1 to do, and then homework. Okay. Here is your frequency table. This one deals with the amount of coffee, cups of coffee people drink a day. Number of cups of coffee. Frequency. So the amount of cups of coffee people drink. So I want you to find the mean, median, mode, and range for this set of data. Okay, can someone explain to me what these 3s mean, like in the context? What does this row mean? So there were 3 people who drank 3 cups of coffee each. What does this row mean? 5 people drank 6 cups of coffee. They are probably all crazy out right now. All right, so let's write out the data sets. So 1 person drank 2, 3 drank 3, 5 drank 4, 8 drank 5, 6, 7, 8, and 5 drank 6. So those should be your data points. Yes? Okay. When you add everything up and divide by your number of elements, how many elements did you have? You had 22. And you can count them here. These will also equal 22. So when you add everything up and divide by 22, you should have gotten 4.6. And that lies within your data points, so you're good. The median is the number in the middle. And you end up with 5. Yeah? The mode is the one that appears the most often, and you end with 5. And your range is 6 minus 2, which is 4. Not too bad?